Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing quite an exciting video. This was actually requested for me to do this of someone on Snapchat. So thank you so much for actually asking me to do this and bringing this to my awareness that Pretty Little Thing has makeup. I did not know that Pretty Little Thing had flipping makeup and packaging. Can we look at this packaging? Like, don't get me wrong, like the foundation and the primer is this box here, and then this is actually the component, but all of the other things is the actual packaging. It's beautiful. Okay, so that's basically what I'm going to do today. So everything I have on my face right now, apart from my eyebrows and setting powder, because they were the two things that I couldn't get to create a full face. So obviously everything I do have on my face is from Pretty Little Thing, and I am goddamn impressed by it. So if you want to know how I got this makeup look, and if you want to know my opinions on all of this makeup, then you know what to do. Okay, so on the website there basically was everything in the face makeup department where you could like fulfill a full face of makeup. So that's what I tried to get. So I got most things for a full face of makeup. The only thing I didn't get, obviously as you can already see that I've done, is eyebrows, but I did get an eyebrow gel. Hello brow gel, hello, I find you, great, love it. Let's get started. So this is obviously the brow gel packaging, love it. I got this in medium. So this is the brow gel. As you can see, the actual component hasn't actually got the unicorn print on it, but it is a matte sleek finish, and it just has Pretty Little Thing on it, and it is a pale pink. Ooh. Okay, now that brush is actually a wee bit bigger than I would usually like to have my brow gel brushes. I don't necessarily like a brow gel that has a tint in it, but it always seems to be the one that I always seem to go for, because I kind of find that the ones that have a tint in it are always the ones that have more staying power. That's just my experience with certain brands that I've used. So I already moisturised my face prior to this video because the primer is a mattifying primer, not really something that I'm into or prefer. I think it would be pretty awesome if it came out with like a hydrating primer or an illuminating primer, because not everybody has a preference to mattifying primer. And this is the packaging. I'm just wondering what consistency it is. Okay, so far it looks like semen. It's just like a clear gel, you actually can't even see that, so I'm guessing it's very much silicone based. Yeah, so I'm actually just going to focus this mainly on my T-zone area because I definitely don't need it throughout my entire face. That doesn't feel too bad. I don't actually know if it's made a difference to my skin or not. Probably not, because my skin looks more red now, because every time I blend something into my skin with my fingers, my face always goes like 10 times as red. But this is the foundation, and this is in the shade Warm Beige. I did tan last night, of course. I had to tan just as I was doing a review for makeup products. Of course I had to do that. Obviously we might not be matching today, I might have to do a lot of bronzing and stuff, but I would say if I wasn't tanned, silly me, that this would actually be okay for me. I can already tell that this would definitely have matched me more if I didn't fake tan last night. Like, why do I do this? Why do I do this? So this foundation doesn't claim to be full coverage, medium coverage, light coverage. It doesn't claim to be like a matte finish or a dewy finish, satin finish. It just claims to be photo finish foundation. So my first impressions overall would be it's definitely not full coverage, but it definitely has evened out my skin tone. You cannot even see my freckles even, because I have a lot of like freckles on my nose and stuff. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey, but obviously I'm guessing that because it isn't full coverage and it's not a thick foundation. I'm now going to build it up just to see if you can build it up to maximum coverage, because obviously if anybody knows my style of makeup, I am full coverage. But I also want to see if it can build up to full coverage. The only thing I will say about it is looking a wee bit greasy, especially around my T-zone area and here. Like, don't get me wrong, like I do love a sheen of my foundation, but I like an artificial sheen. I do like a matte face and a matte base. Then I like to go in and highlight the areas that I want to be dewy and glowing. So I always do that artificially. Okay, so I've turned my exposure down a wee bit, so I'm kind of hoping that you can actually see the finish of the foundation more on my skin, and I'm also kind of hoping that you can see how shiny it's getting. Do keep in mind that I haven't done concealer yet, hence why I haven't carved out my eyebrows or done my eyelids yet. So this is obviously with 2 full layers now, and it has built up to, I would say, medium to full coverage. It's just a wee bit greasy. That's the only downside I can actually say about it so far. Like, definitely looks like the type of foundation that you definitely want to set and will crease extremely quickly. Even around the areas where I did prime is just really, really greasy and oily getting. Like, that to me doesn't look like, oh, like a healthy, luminous, glowing from within glow. That to me just looks like, holy shit, your foundation is a wee bit oily, sweetheart. No. And this is the concealer palette. So they didn't actually have a concealer in like a tube with a doe foot applicator or like a squeezy thing or anything. So they just had this wee palette. But it comes with a cream contour shade, not too sure about that, and a yellow shade and a lime green shade, and then this is obviously just your porcelain concealer shade. I'm just going to take a Makeup Addictions concealer brush. Take a wee tiny bit to see what it's like and what the coverage is like and the colour and everything, and then if we need to put more on, we can. Has it concealed? I think so, a wee bit. Has it brightened? I actually think it's brightened the tiniest wee bit. Okay, so I think for the sheer hell of it and the crack, I'm just going to use the cream contour shade. Oh wow! Wow! Help! And I don't know if you have noticed as well, but like this bit here is holographic, and I think that I love it. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, I just love this packaging. Like, even if these products are shit, I will keep them because of the packaging. Okay, so you can't actually see that contour shade at all. Not really a big fan of concealers that come in like actual palettes like this. This is just my own personal opinion, and just from experience through other concealers that come in palettes, I just find them very heavy and very greasy like, and just overall not great concealers, but we'll see how it wears. Okay, so now that I've set my face, and I did bake underneath my eyes and my smile lines because those are the areas that I do tend to crease the most. This is the highlighting palette, and I think the highlighting palette and the eyeshadow palette were the 2 most expensive products that I got. These were both at £10 each. So this is the Brighter Than Your Future highlighting palette. I doubt that somehow, but don't knock it until you try it. Can we just talk about the size of these shades and these pan sizes? This highlighting palette would last you a lifetime. Now looking at these 2 shades, they're not kind of really my thing, and neither is this one, but it kind of just depends. Unless you want to use this one for an eyeshadow if you are my skin tone or lighter, but obviously if you have darker skin tones, I think these 3 shades would actually be pretty decent, to be honest. And then you have these 3 lighter shades, so I think these 2 shades are the ones that I'm kind of gonna go for today. Oh my god! And, ooh, holy fuck. Holy fuck! These lighter ones are definitely, whoa, chunkier, as you can see. As I was saying, like, they are pretty chunky, like I was going a wee bit ham there. But once you actually rub them in, they actually don't look too bad. I actually might use the white one as my nose highlight, shall we? Oh my god. So I think for my face highlight, I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to actually take a wee bit of the white silver-like highlight just as a topper for this one. Just to make it a wee bit more intense, because I kind of like my highlighter to be extremely intense. Okay, I think I put too much on. Oh shit. Oh dear. Next up we have a blusher, and again, the cutest little packaging ever. So this is the Mermaid Kiss blusher. Absolutely beautiful. It's very much a pink rose toned blusher, but it also has like shifts of gold reflex through it, which kind of makes it have like a peachy undertone in through it. I'm just going to be as light as possible with my application. I actually might sound a wee bit crazy in saying this, but I sometimes find that the cheaper the blushes, the more pigmented they are. Like, I kind of find with that with higher end blushes, they kind of get it. They kind of understand that you don't want an extremely pigmented blusher. Because it can just look so crazy so quick, whereas with cheap blushers it's just like pigment, pigment, pigment. So the bronzer is just in the exact same packaging and the size of packaging as the blush. Yeah, kind of looks like a decent shade. It's very, very warm toned, which today I'm kind of looking for, considering the fact that my face does not match my body whatsoever. I necessarily do not like to contour my face. I just find that bronzing just does the job for me or anyway. There was selections of bronzers and contours. I think there was a contour palette if that's something that you're into. As I was saying, I don't contour, so I wasn't just going to waste the money. And please excuse the bronzer brush that I used if you're new to my channel. Whoa, that is pigmented. Okay, so the bronzer isn't too bad, although I have noticed that I'm just having to go back into my powder brush and just like pat around the areas to kind of blend it in a wee bit, because it is the tiniest wee bit patchy. I am noticing that whenever I'm going in with the brush, it's like an Anastasia subculture all over again. Like, it's just, it's very, very pigmented, but it is so powdery, like very, very powdery. Like, there is a shit ton of product on my brush right now. I do things a little different right here. I'm just going to go on to lips, and this is the matte lip kit, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I don't know if they actually done like single liquid lipsticks or anything, although I'm sure they did, but they did do like lip glosses and stuff. So I got the liquid lipstick and lip liner in the shade Barely There. This is just a nude shade, obviously. I'm all about my nudes. Kit, it just comes with a lip liner and the liquid lipstick. Okay, so definitely I think the lip liner is a wee bit more peachy. The liquid lipstick is a wee bit more pink. I do not like that lip liner whatsoever. It's nothing to do with the formula. The formula was fine. It's the colour. I always liked for my lip liner to be a wee bit darker. No. But as I say, it's nothing to do with the formula or the way it performed, it's just the colour. So that's actually my fault for actually choosing that colour. Okay, so that's very sheer. It is actually that sheer that it's taken off my foundation underneath it, so I can already tell that I'm going to be sitting here applying this liquid lipstick to build up the coverage for about a couple of hours, so bear with me. Like, the wand is so bent. Ah, yes! Get in it, I hope you can see that. There's like a bend in the wand. Anyway. Eyeshadows! So we have the eyeshadow palette. There was two selection of eyeshadow palettes, and the palette actually looks pretty damn good. Like, the palettes, like, this is why I struggled, because both of the palettes looked stunning. Like, they look absolutely beautiful. The other one has more orange warm tones, whereas this one has your warm tones, but it also has a selection of cool tones as well, because I kind of wanted to switch it up a wee bit, because how many warm tone palettes do we need? Oh golly, there is 3 mattes in this palette, and it's this one, and this one, and the rest are shimmers. Fandabidose. That's worrying. And the pan sizes are actually quite big, I will say that. Like here's my finger in comparison. How is that a comparison? Okay, so I just went off camera there and kind of played about with this matte shade here, and I just put this in my crease. I'm just using this on a dirty, as usual, Kylie Cosmetics blending brush. And I'm obviously just focusing this shade just in my crease, and I'm blending it right up to my upper crease. They are pigmented, like don't get me wrong, like they are pretty pigmented. So I think now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bronze gold shade here, and then I'm going to take this one. So I'm just going to swatch a few as well, actually. Not bad, seem better. Oh, this shade here is beautiful. Yeah, I'm going to use that shade. That's beautiful. So this is a Zoeva brush. God, I never use high-end brushes. A Luxe Smoky Shader. Cool! So I'm actually just going to apply this on my lid, if it works. Okay, so like the pigment's definitely there, but it's just kind of struggling a wee bit. I'm definitely having to go in quite a lot of times here to actually build up the pigment and get like the sheen off it and the metallicness. I think I'm going to have to go in with MAC Fix Plus just out of interest, just to see what it's like and to see if it makes a difference. I'm actually just going to use the Pixie Makeup Fixing Mist. The reason I'm using this is because I don't actually like this to spritz on my face, so I mainly use this to help me out with shadows. Okay, so my camera overheated and turned itself off, so while I was giving it time to be a little bitch, I did go into this shade here, the shade that I used as for my crease colour, and I did run that along my lower lash line. Getting back to the shimmer shade, even though I have spritzed it with a makeup setting spray, I'm still not really noticing a difference at all. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to try my finger and see if that makes a difference. Perfect. Yeah. So I'm just going to try it with my finger. Keep in mind this is pretty hard considering the fact that I do have nails. This like burgundy shade here. I'm just going to take this just on a packing brush, and I'm just going to pack this just on my outer corner. This isn't a matte or a shimmer, but it has got like wee bits of glitter reflex through it, so I would say it's more of a satin eyeshadow. That's actually really nice. And then I'm just going to blend it out. How easy did that blend out? Holy smokes! I think I might actually dabble into this shade here. I've run that along my lash line. And then I'm just going to pack that on a wee bit. I'm actually just going to go into the highlighting palette and try these as eyeshadows. So as I was saying earlier, that this one would look absolutely beautiful, so I'm actually going to try it. So I'm going to try, see out of these two what one. So yeah, I definitely think that one. Oh yes, 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 yes. That is working so much better. I'm just going to take a mixture between these two shades. Kind of highlight my inner corner. And I'm just going to kind of put it, these two shades also, like just in this like tear duct area. Oh. Now to finish off the eyes, I got a mascara, and this is just the Pretty Little Thing mascara. This is in the shade Black, and there was quite a few mascaras on the website actually. I think there was 3 if I am correct, so I got the Fall/Volumizing mascara. But this packaging is the exact same as the brow gel. Let's just see the wand. Oh, okay. I actually think that's the exact same wand as the brow gel. Alrighty then. Okay guys, so this is the completed makeup look. I am honestly so surprised at looking at my face right now. I just can't believe that this is actually a full face technically of a Pretty Little Thing makeup products. Like I actually do think my makeup doesn't look too bad. Like obviously, like as I can see in person and up close, there is a few wee like could be better situations. Overall, these products really surprised me. You know, and I don't mean to say that as in being biased or anything or being a bitch or blah blah, but it honestly has surprised me. So I'm just going to now do a rundown on all of the products and let you know my final thoughts. So the brow gel, touch test. Okay, so it doesn't actually seem to have like hardened as such, but it has definitely set my eyebrow hairs. Yeah, they don't really seem to be going anywhere. Yeah, okay, well then that's definitely a pass from me then. Next up was the primer. Not really a big fan and lover of primer. I never use primer on a daily basis, therefore whenever I get a primer I can never really judge it, to be honest, or give it a review because, as I say, I don't use primer. I just think primers are just really gimmicky. My skin's just pretty basic and pretty normal. I don't have any need for primer. But it doesn't stop me from buying this stuff, so it was alright, it was average. I didn't notice, I don't have anything negative to say about it, I don't have anything positive to say about it, but it was just, it was fine. It was fine. So at the foundation, I was actually pretty surprised by this foundation. I will probably use it again, but this is definitely the type of foundation that you really want to set. As I showed, it was getting really greasy and oily the longer I did have it on. Even considering the fact that I did have the mattifying primer underneath, and I do have dry skin, so if you are oily, I don't know how this would look. The coverage was perfect, built up to like a medium / full coverage. It didn't feel thick, it didn't feel cakey. It's pretty average, and it was, you know, it was decent enough. Like, if I am being honest, I have actually used worse foundations than this. The eyeshadow palette, I actually really liked the eyeshadow palette. As I was saying while I was using them, the shimmer shades did need a bit of work, but the matte shades performed absolutely perfect. Like there's definitely pigment there in terms of the matte shades and the shimmers, but it just comes down to in terms whenever you're actually applying the shimmers to the eyes with either a finger or a brush or a wet brush or something, they just kind of need to build up and they just need a bit of time and work. Whereas I just kind of find that that shouldn't necessarily be the case, because I've used other palettes, whether they're high-end or drugstore, and the shimmer shades are fine. Overall, it's a beautiful palette. It's a very wearable palette. A highlighting palette, and this is the Brighter Than Your Future palette. I was like, yeah, right, whatever, and I still stand by that, but don't get me wrong, I am glowing. I actually like this highlighting palette, and I actually think that this might become a highlighting palette in my everyday makeup routine. If you are familiar with my everyday makeup routine, you would know that I use two different highlighters. I use one powder highlighter as like a base, and then I go on top with another as like an intensifier. So I definitely will use these highlighters for a tenner, and the size of the palette itself and the fact that the pan sizes are so big, I honestly do think it is worth it. The blusher was pretty basic. It was nice, it was very pretty. Again, I don't have anything negative to say about it. You know, it was just pretty basic. The bronzer, on the other hand, as I'm looking at my skin now, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it is the foundation, whether it's the powder, or whether it's the actual bronzer itself, because sometimes you do have to think about what is underlying on your skin and your base whenever you're layering products and they don't work. The area here, I don't know if it's coming off on camera, but it's just very patchy. I'll try and zoom these in a wee bit to see if you can see. I don't know if you can notice it or not, but it is very patchy. While I was applying this, I did have to go in with a powder brush and blend it because it was actually applying patchy. So the concealer palette, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by it. The concealer palette literally just worked just as well as any other wee like drugstore concealer that I've ever actually used. The lip kit was pretty average, it was fine. The liquid lipstick is starting to crack a wee bit. The colour was absolutely beautiful. There was a load of selection of colours, by the way, and I didn't like the lip liner. The only reason I didn't like the lip liner was because of the shade. So guys, that is my opinions and my review slash tutorial on the Pretty Little Thing makeup. I honestly do think, like, if you are a young teenager starting to do makeup and you want to experiment, Christmas is coming up, it's literally around the corner, and Pretty Little Thing always do like discount codes and stuff, so you can honestly get these products pretty cheap considering the fact that they already are pretty cheap. I think everything that I bought today actually cost me about 70 something pound, and that actually isn't too bad for a full face of makeup. So just think what that would be if you had like a discount code or whatever. But I just think that honestly, if you are like a young teenager, you know, and you're a beginner and stuff, like I just honestly think like this, like the packaging and just like, it's just pretty products, you know what I mean? Like it's just pretty, like if you just had this like sitting in your vanity, it just looks so pretty and so cute. There was nothing that I used today that completely blew me away, obviously, and I wasn't expecting that, but yet again, there wasn't anything in these products that was absolutely awful, and I was kind of expecting some of them to be awful, but I'm actually really happy and really surprised that there wasn't. So that's pretty awesome, and I probably will continue to use some of these products in my tutorials and just in my daily life. So I will list and link everything that I used in this video down below in the description box. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter. They will also be linked and listed down below. And thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.